So now that we are familiar with our properties of logs, we can use these to condense logs into a single logarithm, and we can expand them into multiple logarithms. So let's start with condensing. Let's look at number 19 here. I'm going to use my properties. Remember, we had product, quotient, and power. So starting here with number 19, at the very beginning, I have 2 times the log of 6 minus the log of 9. And if you'll notice here, I do have subtraction, so that tells me I'm going to use my quotient property, but this 2 on the outside tells me I'm also going to need to use my power property. So let's do the power property first. 2 times the log of 6. Now remember, this 2, when I bring it to the outside, it used to be a power. So I can rewrite this as log of 6 squared minus the log of 9. So I've taken care of the power property, and now I can focus on the quotient property. And this is the same thing as the log of 6 squared divided by 9. Well, what is 6 squared? 6 squared is 36, so this is log of 36 divided by 9. 36 divided by 9 is 4, so my final answer is the log of 4. Okay, let's do number 21 here. Again, first thing on both of these, I have something on the outside, so that tells me I have to use my power property. And then they're still being subtracted again, so that tells me I'm going to use my quotient property also. But let's take care of the power property first. So remember, that number on the outside used to be the exponent, so I'm going to have log base 4 of u to the 7th power minus log base 4 of v squared to the 3rd power. So I have an exponent raised to another exponent, and if you remember back from our unit on exponents, I multiply those two numbers together, and so I'm going to have log base 4 of v to the 6th power. So I've taken care of the power property. Now I need to look at quotient. So I have these 2 logs subtracted from each other, so that is the same thing as log base 4 of u to the 7 over v to the 6. Now, because u and v are not like terms, I cannot simplify any further, and this is our final answer. All right, let's do one more condensing problem. Let's do number 23. So I have 2 addition things, so that tells me I'm going to have to use my product rule or my multiplication rule. And then I have this 1/2 on the outside, so that tells me I also need to use the power rule. And we always want to take care of the power rule first. So I'm going to bring down those other terms that don't need to be messed with. And remember, that number on the outside used to be an exponent, so I'm going to have log base 3 of 49 to the 1/2 power. Well, 1/2 power just means square root, so that's going to be the square root of 49. So now I have all these things added together, so I can use my product rule to say this is the same thing as log base 3 of 4 times y times the square root of 49. Now we know the square root of 49 is 7, so this can be log base 3 of 4 times y times 7. And 4 times 7 is 28, so our final answer is going to be log base 3 of 28y. And that is condensing logs.